Welcome everyone to this Thursday edition of the one and only Ruby. I'm so excited that so many of you have decided to join me on this journey. So I want to say welcome to my last year's third graders who are now my fourth graders. And I want to say welcome to my this year's third graders. I'm so excited that you could be here with us today. I want to give a special shout out to my godchildren, Charlotte and Connor Michael, and to their cousin Asher. And Asher, yes, I am their aunt because I love them. I'm excited they're going to be listening today. Also, we have some children from abroad, from Ukraine, who are going to be tuning in. So welcome to you, whether you're living in Ukraine or you are abroad right now in Germany or Poland. We are glad that you are joining us. So this project just keeps growing and it makes me very excited. So I kind of gave you a teaser, a cliffhanger last time, and told you that Ruby has a secret. So we're going to find out that secret today. So just real quick in your mind, I want you to kind of make a prediction of what you think that secret might be. So just kind of be thinking about that. And as we read, you can check that prediction and see if you were right. So our story starts out with elephant body language. And it says that elephants can tell you to watch out. They can say, I'm scared, let's play, we're pals, I'm worried, or I'm silly. So I'm just going to show that to you. There's Ruby showing us all of those different things that elephants can tell us with their body language. Also, usually when we talk about a book having a glossary, it's usually at the end of the book. And usually a glossary is found in a nonfiction text. And we know that nonfiction means true, full of facts. Well, it's very clear that this is not a nonfiction text because we have some background knowledge about the one and only Ivan and the one and only Bob. And so we know that Catherine Applegate is writing this in a series and that these are fiction stories. So, but what she has done is she has made an elephant glossary, and instead of putting it at the back of the book, she has put it at the front of the book. So these are some things about elephants that she thinks we might want to know. An aunt is the sister of your father or mother, or it can be a term of affection used by elephants when addressing a female herd member. A calf is the young of certain mammals, including cows, whales, and elephants. The creed of the herd. This is a belief that is passed down through elephants' generation that states an elephant alone is not an elephant. So that's something we're going to need to think about. An elephant alone is not an elephant. So my mind is thinking, that means elephants like to be in groups. They like to be together. They don't like to be alone. A drought, we in South Dakota know what that is. It's an extended period without rain, dung, manure, poop. Dust bathing. It's covering the body with a layer of fine dirt to protect the skin from the sun and parasites, either by rolling on the ground or tossing dust with the trunk. And I just made a connection to that dust bathing because my chickens used to do that all the time for the same reasons, to keep the parasites off. Now they didn't have a trunk, but they would roll in the dirt and do a dust bath. Ear flaps. Rapid movements of the ears, often as part of greeting, bonding, or excitement. Ear flapping can also be used to signal aggression or for heat regulation. I love this word, elebrella. Shade provided to an elephant calf by the belly or shadow of an adult elephant. So there's you a new word, elebrella. It's like an umbrella, except instead of a person holding an umbrella, it's an elephant using their body. Floppy run, moving with a relaxed, easy stride. The 4 lodestars, a set of 4 principles: kindness, wonder, courage, and gratitude that elephants use to guide their conduct. Matriarch, the female leader of the family or group. Mud fun, wallowing in soft, wet earth, informal. Not okay behavior. That means inappropriate conduct. Oops, oopsie. Elephant game involving water spray from trunks. Pond play, fun and games in a small body of water. Savanna. This is in Africa, and it's a biodiverse ecosystem featuring huge grasslands with scattered trees. Sentinel, a guardian or protector. Splash, splash, deliberately hitting water with your trunk. Trunk, the long, movable snout of an elephant. Trunk boost, lifting or nudging another elephant using an adult assisting a calf. Trunk trudge, to walk slowly or dawdle, often dragging your trunk. Tusk Day, traditional celebration after the arrival of a young elephant's tusks. And Tusky, nickname for young elephants just after their tusks appear. So that is our elephant glossary. Here's chapter 1. My big little problem. Nobody ever listens to the littlest elephant. And around here, the littlest elephant is me. We just discovered something important. The littlest elephant is me. So who is our narrator? That's right, Ruby. So just like Ivan told his story and Bob told his story, Ruby is the narrator of her book. She is telling us her story. Brave. When you're the littlest elephant, even if even if you very helpfully say, "Hey, I'd better jump in the pond to see if any giant hungry snaggle-toothed crocodiles might be hiding in there," one of the grown-ups will say, "I think you've had plenty of water play today." I heard a great vocabulary word right there. And that vocabulary word was snaggletooth. So I looked up snaggletooth. And a snaggletooth is an irregular or projecting tooth. So I printed off a picture of a crocodile with a snaggletooth. So Ruby says, "Oh, I'm just going to get in the water and see if there's any snaggletooth crocodiles, but my aunties say I've had enough play today." And then, if you splash the muddy water with your trunk, just to be extra sure there aren't actually any giant hungry snaggletooth crocodiles hiding in there, because you are that amazingly brave, not that anyone appreciates you, another grown-up will loop her trunk around your tummy and pull you away from the water's edge and say, "Come on, silly Tusky." That's a real for instance. Nicknames. Also, when you're the littlest elephant, they call you things like Tusky. I'm going to ask my family not to call me that anymore because I think it's teasing, and teasing is not okay behavior. And besides, my name is Ruby. My Aunt Akilo says it's elephant tradition to call little elephants Tusky when their tusks first appear. She says it's like Buttercup or Roo-Roo or Twizzle Trunk or any of the other gazillion nicknames they have for me. But I don't like Tusky. I don't like it because I have a secret. I can't tell the other elephants. Now, so I really want you to be thinking about that prediction. What do you think her secret might be? What could it be? Don't tell anyone. My secret is that I hate my tusks. Did anyone have that as your prediction? Did anyone think that might be what she didn't like? I didn't. All about tusks. In case you're not an elephant, here's what you need to know about tusks. Tusks are kind of like teeth, which you probably have unless you are an anteater or a turtle or an earthworm. Regular elephant teeth are flat, not pointy, and good for chomping things like grass until it gets nice and smushy. We grow 6 new sets of teeth in our lives. That was a new fact for me. 6 new sets of teeth. I guess because we use them so much. But nobody cares about these teeth. It's our tusks everyone is interested in, especially humans. Tusks are the pointy things that extend from the sides of our mouth like big front teeth that forgot to stop growing. They are hard and smooth and curved like new moons. Lots of elephants like me, the ones who come from Africa, grow tusks, boys and girls. Elephants use our tusks for all kinds of things. They help with eating and digging and playing and sometimes even fighting. They are so important that when your tusks arrive, elephants hold a special ceremony to celebrate the occasion. Elephants love any excuse for a party. Aunt Kilo says tusks are a sign you are growing up. She says the ceremony is a way of honoring that passage. On my tusk day, I have to give a speech while the other elephants listen. It's like a birthday party, only without the fun. Protesting. The reason the grown-ups made me get out of the pond is because it's time for me to practice for my ceremony. But my actual tusk day is 2 whole days away from now. So I don't see why I couldn't have had maybe just 5 more minutes of mud fun. Especially since the mud is extra gooey this time of year. Anyway, I'm hiding behind this tree because I don't want to practice, in case you're wondering. I'm not pouting, I'm protesting. So I want to stop there for just a second. I want us to think about those 2 words, pouting and protesting. So I want us to see what is the difference between those 2. So pouting is when you are expressing annoyance or displeasure. You stick out your body lip. You might be really silent because you're not getting your way. So protesting means to show or express strong disagreement with or of something. So for some examples I put, sometimes we might see on the news people protesting because they want better pay. They want to be paid more. Or you may hear students at your school, we should protest. We need a longer recess or a longer lunch. That's protesting. So she says, I'm not pouting. I'm not upset because I'm not getting my way. I'm protesting. And she's protesting because she doesn't want to celebrate her tusk. Because remember, that's her secret. She is not happy to be getting her tusks. So that's why she's protesting. Unfortunately, it's hard to hide all of you when you're an elephant. Even a little elephant is big compared to a bug or a squirrel or a kid. So can you have that picture in your head? Can you see her as an elephant trying to hide behind a tree? Yeah, that doesn't work, does it? Hide and seek. Yesterday, I tried hiding behind a different tree when TJ, one of the park veterinarians, wanted to check my new tusks. She found me pretty quick. I need better hiding places. So veterinarian, we know that's an animal doctor. So her tusks are coming in, so they just want to make sure they're healthy and that they don't get infected. Why? Aunt Kilo is heading this way. There are 6 elephants in our little herd, and Aunt Kilo is the matriarch. Remember, we said that's the leader, which means she is the boss of us. An elephant matriarch is like a teacher and a counselor and a rescuer and a yeller and a helper and a nudger and a guider, all rolled into one. So for my last year's 3rd graders, I hope that you were thinking adjectives when I read that whole list of things to describe Aunt Akila. Teacher, counselor, rescuer, yeller, helper, nudger, guider. Lots of adjectives to describe her. I hope she isn't mad. I really do try to listen to the grown-ups, but every now and then my ears misbehave. Aunt Akilo says someday I'll outgrow this stage. Aunt Akilo sighs a lot. My Aunt Lila, who's been scratching her back on a nearby tree, looks over and taps me with her trunk. Aunt Layla is my youngest aunt, and she loves mud almost as much as I do. Also, she likes to play oops oopsie, which is when you spray someone with water from your trunk and say oops, and then they get to spray you back twice as long and say oopsie. But only if they want to play the game, because otherwise this is not okay behavior. An awful lot of things are not okay behavior. Somebody really ought to make a list. Just for a day, I would like to make all the rules. A good one would be play in the mud as long as you want, even if it's way past your bedtime. You know, Akila can see you behind the tree, Trusky, Aunt Layla says. I don't want to practice the ceremony, I say. Also, I don't want to celebrate my Tusks Day. Also, please don't call me Tusky. Aunt Layla cocks her head. Her right eye is golden and large and always smiling. Her left eye is white and blank and doesn't work anymore. A man at the roadside zoo where she used to live poked it with a stick. That makes my heart hurt. So she's blind in one eye because she was abused. But your Tusk Day is a big deal, she says. She lowers her head so I can see how grand her tusks are. They practically glow in the sunlight, and they're a little bit swirly at the tips, which is a nice touch. I just don't care about my Tusk Day, I say. Is it because your tusk still hurts, she asks? Because that goes away pretty fast, I promise. They don't hurt anymore, I say. That's not why I don't want to celebrate. I can tell by Aunt Layla's expression that she doesn't exactly understand me. I try to explain, but I don't exactly understand me either. All right, that's where we're going to stop. I hope you enjoyed our first reading. I will see you next week. Have a great week.